G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision and the Oppo analysis. It's Friday night footy, it's the Hawthorn Football Club at the MCG, and to have a look at the Hawks I'm joined by assistant coach Greg Mellor. And Greg, you probably go into this game feeling pretty good. We've had a really good record against the Hawks recently.
Yeah, we feel we match up well against them. We enjoy playing against them. They're the best side in the competition, and winning the last three flags. But in saying that, in the last I think 4 or 5 times that we've played them, that we've won the majority of those contests. So we give ourselves a realistic opportunity to win this game. We come and play our way. We be strong and tough at the contest and use the ball well. We don't see any reason why we can't win the game.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Greg. Let's have a look at the Daycore matchup this week, and we've got down at this stage, Greg, Jack Riewoldt v James Frawley. It looks like James may not play, but they could bring in a first game, a young brand, and we know Josh Gibson, he's been there for years.
Yeah, both of those will be an interesting matchup. Obviously, Josh Gibson's been in great form. In particular, he's really dangerous if you let him loose, but if he's playing on Jack and he gives Jack a bit of space, I'm backing Jack in to do some heavy damage. Caden Brand, he's quite a tall defender. He's quite athletic. Obviously he'd be very nervous playing his first game. And
do you think they'd put him on Jack in his first game?
Well, they might give him. He played on him in the NAB Cup game, and Jack, I think Jack did pretty well and took 5 contested marks. So maybe they might give it to someone else.
They've got Ben Stratton there as well. They could go with him, you never know. Let's have a look at the Hawks' defensive numbers this year. And we know how good they've been for a long time, obviously. In 2015, 70 points, but gee, it's actually blown out by 5 goals this year. What's your analysis telling you about that?
Well, I think they've obviously been missing a number of their key players, and we know that, again, Hodge is out this week, which is a good one for us. Yeah. It's about controlling the footy. We use the ball, move it on quick. They've shown that they can be scored against, so we'll be looking to, it'd be nice to kick 100 points against them.
Absolutely. I think it might have something to do with their kick to handball ratio this year. Hawthorn have been known as a kicking side for so long, we know that, but this year they are handballing a lot more. I wonder if it's by design or is it just the pressure the opposition are putting on?
I think there's a lot of that. They try and move the ball forward, particularly into that short 45 to try and get into the corridor. Yeah. And a lot of sides are shutting that down with Hawthorn. They give that first one, and then that frontal pressure comes on, and that they put some that they're referring handballs with, and that's probably why it's gone up.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell, he's a machine, this guy. He just keeps getting the footy, Greg. It's asked all the time. Everyone says, why don't we tag Sam Mitchell? He's averaging nearly 34 touches this year. And I think the Bulldogs a few weeks ago probably showed the way to do it with young Caleb Daniel playing on him, but then getting into smart positions.
Yeah, look, he's just an incredible player. Just really smart, reads the game really well, and uses it. And where he's really smart is that he'll drag his opponents into a false sense of security. They think he's not going to be used, then he just ducks out the back, and the Hawks give him the ball all the time, and he uses it really well. So he's definitely one player that we're going to be watching carefully.
Beautiful. Jack Gunston last week kicked 5 goals against GWS, and I reckon he really found some form. It was his biggest bag for the year. He's probably the #1 player down there at the moment with Ruffy out, isn't he? Yeah,
he's the #1 key. They've got some dangerous smalls that are going okay.
We might talk about them.
But yeah, look, and the thing about him is he's just such a straight shot for goal. So he only needs a couple of opportunities. He's been playing a little bit down. I know against Adelaide he went and spent a bit of time down in the back line playing as their 7th defender. Yeah. But against the Giants he managed to find the footy in the forward line. So
yeah, I think he makes that decision himself when to go down back. If they just need a steadying influence, he's such a good user, obviously. And the other 3 that you talked about, the 3 amigos we've called them this week. Paul Puopolo, he was a machine 2 weeks ago, kicked 5 goals. We know what Cyril brings and Luke Bruce. These guys are probably the key to their forward line with that pressure they bring.
Yeah, their pressure points and their tackles inside 50 are elite. And there's something that I guess we as a forward line, looking how can we help and emulate that. So it's about making sure that when we kill the contest in our back line that they're long spoils. So guys like Rioli and Piopolo don't get first lick of the ice cream as it's coming in. And then just being really tight. And if our midfield pressure's really, really spot on, that's going to help our defenders out. And then if we're kicking goals, well, then they don't see much of the ball.
Keep it down our end and they can't get near it. Anyway, Greg, thanks a lot for joining us today.
No worries, Richard. It's been a pleasure.
Beautiful. Thank you. There it is. That's the Oppo analysis, the Hawks, Friday night at the MCG.